Welcome everyone. Let's come to Samastitihi. So the big toes touching in the heels slightly apart, or you can separate the feet a little bit more. Something that allows you to connect inwards and into the ground. So if you'd like, close your eyes as we begin the practice of yoga. So I like to take a moment at the beginning of practice to sort of acknowledge this is the start of the practice, and the practice begins now. And so I'm going to make the effort to turn the attention inwards and observe with judgment, without judgment, without assessment, and with an open curiosity. So setting that intention or any other intention that you might have that's unique or specific to anything that's present for you. So you're rooting down through the four corners of each foot, engaging the legs to stabilize this posture, equal standing posture. And then as you drop the tailbone and the pubic bone down towards each other, feel the spine lifting up and out of the pelvis to keep reaching up through the crown of the head as you draw the chin back and down so that you can tune into this center line. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose with the tone in the vocal cords. And a full breath out through the nose, again with the tone in the vocal cords, but releasing the tension in the neck, in the throat. Again, inhale, deep breath in, gentle tone in the vocal cords. And exhale with the ujjayi, releasing the soft palate, releasing that tension, that unnecessary tension in the throat. And let's bring the palms to heart center, and we'll begin with the opening mantra. You can join or just listen. Take a deep breath in. Vande Gurunam Charanaravinda Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangali Kayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrase Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Exhale the arms back down to your side, opening the eyes. And we'll start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bringing the arms over your head as you press through the feet. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine, hands to the mat. Bend the knees here if you need to. Inhale, half lift, reach the heart forward. Exhale, step back into a high plank. Lower the knees to modify, bend the elbows for Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, point the toes into upward facing dog, easy up dog. Exhale, into downward facing dog. Good, so I was taking these first few moments to maybe come back to your intention of the practice and settle into the body, settle into the breath, and just observe. Observe where the body, where the mind, and where the breath are in this moment, and with an open curiosity. Deep, steady breaths, keeping the tone in the vocal cords, releasing the tension in the neck. Let's take one more breath here. Fully exhaling. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, fold forward, fully exhale. Inhale, come to stand. Pressing down, shifting into the heels as you reach up. Exhale, floating the arms back down into Samasthiti. Good. Again, like that. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold, moving with the breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana, finishing the exhale at the bottom. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the shoulders, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling in. Matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. So they're even breaths. And smoothing out the edges of the breath. So you feel into, you experience this circular pattern of the breath. So rounding out the transitions between the inhales and the exhales. One more breath here. Fully exhaling, step or jump to the top. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, folds forward, fully exhaling. Inhale, come to stand. Press down, drop the tailbone and pubic bone as you reach up. Exhale, keep reaching up through the crown of the head as the hands lower. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Draw the lower belly in, keep it toned. Inhale, upward facing dog. Micro bend the elbows so you can really lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling here. Drawing the lowest part of the lower belly in and up for Uddiyana Bandha. As you draw the pelvic bowl in towards the center. So you're engaging everything in the pelvic floor in towards the center for Mula Bandha. And then drawing that energy up towards the heart with Uddiyana Bandha, drawing the lowest part of the lower belly in and up. So you're gathering the energy at the base of the pelvis, in the pelvic bowl, and then drawing it up towards the heart. One more breath. Fully exhaling. Step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Relax the muscles along the back. Inhale, come to stand. Press down, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good. One more like that. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Draw the lower belly and shoulders away from the ears. Look forward. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the heart, reach back through the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. And always you're welcome to take child's pose if you need a rest. And if the breath feels like it's kind of gotten a little bit chaotic, child's pose is a great place to come back into a steady, smooth breath. Lengthening the back of the neck, relaxing the neck to gaze up towards the thighs or towards the navel for your gazing point. One more. Step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press down to reach up, opposing energies, opposing directions. Exhale, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees for Utkatasana. Inhale, lift the arms and the heart. Exhale, fold. Straightening the legs as much as it's comfortable. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering the knees whenever you need to modify. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, right foot forward. Inhale into Virabhadrasana, arms over your head. Exhale, come back down, step back into a high plank, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, left foot forward, Virabhadrasana A on the left side. Lift up, reach up. Exhale, come back down, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Or a half down dog where you're on your knees but the hips are lifted. And you can come onto your fingertips in this version to really find that external rotation through the shoulders where you're moving the shoulder blades away from each other and spreading the upper back. Relax the neck. One more breath here. Fully exhaling. Step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Bend the knees, sink the hips, reach the arms up. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And I'm gonna add some breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, come up. Arms over your head. Exhale, hands back down. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, hold. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, frame the left foot. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that's a good option to add breaths so that just a little bit more accessible. Settling. Coming into the breath. Feeling that heat starting to build from the inside. One more. Fully exhaling. Step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the chest. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, Padangustasana, bring the feet hip width distance apart. We'll just do the first one, Padangustasana. Inhale, fold forward, catch the big toes, and lengthen through the spine by reaching the heart forward. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows, start to draw the crown of the head towards the mat. Maybe the elbows aren't bending. Maybe the knees are bending a little bit. Whatever allows you to feel that stability through the legs, that connection into the earth through the feet, and then that release along the spine and the neck. So orienting inwards and finding that internal experience rather than matching a form from the outside in. Connecting to the breath. One more here. Inhale, lift the heart. Fully exhale here. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhale into Samasthiti. We're going to skip into Utthita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, step the right foot back, take a wide stance. Exhale, pivot the right toes and bend into the right knee. And then option one, bring the right hand to the outside of the right foot on the floor or on a block. Or bring the forearm to the thigh. Both versions, reach the left arm over your head. Feel both feet rooting down and away from each other. Reaching the tailbone back towards the left heel. Draw the lower belly in. And then reach the heart forward. Reach the left pinky towards the back of the mat as you root down through the outside edge of the left foot. One more breath here. Inhale, coming out of it, straighten the right leg, pivot the toes, pivot the feet. Exhale, other side, bend into the left knee. So feeling into this experience of stability through the legs, and then expansion through the side of the right torso. So the cues for technique are just tools to point you towards this internal experience. So feeling into the internal experience of this posture, which is rooted, but also expansive. One more breath. Inhale, coming out of it, pivot around, face the back of the mat. Let's go for the B version, the twisting version. You can lower down to that left knee if you'd like. Inhale, reach the left arm up, creating space. Exhale, twist to the right. You can either bring the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh, hands in prayer, or outside of the left shoulder to the outside of the right knee with the left hand on the floor. Reaching the right arm over your head. Either version, you can pick up that back knee, which challenges the balance a little bit. One more breath wherever you are. Good. Exhale, gaze down for balance. Inhale, coming out of it. Exhale, other side. Creating space to come in. Exhale, moving into the space. Finding your drishti, gazing point, either to the side or towards that left hand or towards the ceiling. Wherever allows you to gaze at something while orienting your attention inwards. Breathing deeply into the backside, allowing the rib cage to expand in new places. One more. And on your next exhale, gaze down for balance. Inhale, coming out of it, opening to the side. Exhale into Samastitihi. So a couple Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, step the right foot back, feet parallel to each other, hands to the hips. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold, crown of the head towards the mat. Maybe the elbows are bending. Maybe you're walking the hands back a little bit to pull the torso through the legs. If you feel really far away from the floor, then you can either bend the knees or widen the stance. Either way, you're finding stability and strength through the legs, release through the torso, release through the neck. Smooth, steady breath. One more. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart fully. Exhale here. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhaling at the top. We'll just do C. Inhale, arms out to the side. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, lift the heart as you reach the hands towards the floor. Exhale, fold forward. Getting into the shoulders, releasing, relaxing the shoulders. Sometimes a little bend in the knees helps to release it a little bit more, so playing around with that. Drawing the lower belly in, so you're not pushing the lower belly out, but you're drawing it in to feel hollowing through the front of the pelvis. One more here. And on your next inhale, let the inhale bring you all the way up to the top. Exhaling there. Top of the mat. Feet together into Samastitihi. Good. All right, let's come into Titahasa Padangusthasana. So you're going to bring your left hand to your hip, shift into the left foot. And I like to turn my left foot just a little bit out to the side. So it's not perfectly straight. It's a little bit out to the side because that just feels more natural and stable for me in my hip. So do whatever feels right without turning it out too much to the side or without turning it inwards too much, yeah? So no extremes, but something that helps you feel really stable in that left leg. And then you can either catch the right knee, always tuning into the center line between the left heel and the crown of the head, or you can catch the right big toe, keep the shoulders over the hips. Maybe you straighten that leg out in front of you. And if you feel stable here, you feel that right leg drawing into the hip with the lower belly drawn in, then maybe you can try folding forward, chin towards the right shin. Take 2 more breaths wherever you are, drawing the lower belly in and releasing where you can. Good. On your next inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, we're going to bring it out to the right slowly, no rushing. And it doesn't need to go all the way to the side. Maybe it's a little bit at an angle, at a diagonal. Especially if that allows you to keep the right hip down with the right thigh rolling back so that the hips are even. So you want to avoid lifting that right hip up. Maybe you need to bend the right knee. Totally okay. 1 more breath. Good. Inhale, bring it back to the center and just stabilize here or fold forward for 1 more breath. Inhale. Everybody, shoulders over your hips, hands to your hips, gazing at the right toes. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Good. 1 more breath. Maybe lift it a little bit higher. Exhale, release. Good. Check it out if you need to. All right. Shift into the right foot. Find that stability through that right leg. Maybe that means you micro bend the knee a little bit instead of locking the joint. That works for me. Right hand to your hip. Take your version, the knee or the big toe. And it's nice at every point along this pathway to check in with the center line. Check in with the lower belly drawn in. Go into your final version. Staying oriented around the center line, even as you fold. Relax where the tension isn't necessary. Relax where engagement isn't necessary. 1 more breath. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, take your time. Bring it out to the side. As you root down through that right foot, reach up through the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders. Maybe you're gazing over to the right to challenge the balance. Come into the breath. 1 more deep breath here. Inhale, back to the center. Hold it here and stabilize. Or exhale, fold. Inhale, both hands to the hips. Hold the leg out. Find the center line along that right leg. From the right heel through the crown of the head. Good. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. 1 more breath. Exhale, release. Good. Check it out. Nice. All right. Top of the mat. Feet together. Inhale. Arms over your head. Palms touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Half lift. Exhale. Step or jump back. Chaturanga Pindasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. Legs straight out in front of you. Hands next to your hips. We'll take Pindasana here for a few breaths. Drop the chin for Jalandhara Bandha. And tune into the breath. Finding that straight spine and a neutral pelvis so that you're right on top of the sit bones. And as you keep the lower belly drawn in, feel the movements of the rib cage. Expanding, contracting with each inhale and exhale. And maybe just taking a moment here to tune into the residue from the standing postures. 1 more breath. Releasing that, and we'll take Paschimottanasana. Inhale, reach the big toes, or have the fingertips alongside the legs on the floor. Inhale, let's take a deep breath in, and as you reach the heart forward, rib cage moves away from the hips. Exhale, fold into that space by bringing the chest towards the legs and relaxing the muscles along the spine. And there's a slight rounding to the back, but not so much where most of the bend is coming through the spine. Most of the hinging here should happen at the hips, not along the spine. And if it is, then maybe you're going too deep, or perhaps you need to elevate the hips, or maybe bend the knees a little bit. So make it work for you so that the internal experience here is one that embodies the posture of folding into yourself, lengthening the hamstrings, grounding, turning inwards. And we're not creating unnecessary pressure along the spine. One more breath. Inhale, look up. Fully exhale. Let's go straight into Purva Uttanasana. Point the toes. Bring the hands behind the hips. To modify, or as a variation, you can bend the knees and plant the feet. And on your next inhale, lift the hips up. And if the neck feels okay, drop the head back. Good. And you're keeping the feet together if the legs are straight. Lift the pelvis, lift the heart, and see if you can move the shoulder blades away from each other. Deep breaths. One more. And on your next exhale, slowly lower down. Let's take a vinyasa across the shins. Inhale, roll over the feet or lift up into a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. Let's come into Janu Shirshasana A. Bend the right knee and let the knee fall out to the side. So at the bottom of the left foot is as high up as it's comfortable on the inside of the left leg. Prop the knee up if you feel pressure in the knee. Inhale, square the shoulders over the left leg and either catch the left foot or fingertips on the floor. Exhale, fold forward. And you're squaring the shoulders evenly over the left leg. So you might feel an extra stretch on the right side of the torso. Good. Remember, you can have on the fingertips, on the floor. Same principles for folding forward apply here. Come into the breath. One more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, folding. All right, we're going to stay here on the right side and we're going to come into lotus. So keeping the knee joint closed, you're going to point the right foot and catch underneath the lower leg so that the palms are facing up. And then as you continue closing the knee joint, you're going to pull the lower leg towards you by wrapping the hands towards you. So the hands are doing this motion of coming back towards you. So what that action does is gently externally rotates the lower part of the leg to match the rotation of the upper part of the leg in lotus. We're externally rotating. So pulling the lower leg towards you as you bring the heel towards the navel and the outside edge of the right foot towards the top of the left hip. Move that right hip forward so that both hips are in line with each other, and then sitting up tall. If this is too deep and you feel pressure in the knee, then you could also just flex the foot and just bring the ankle anywhere along that right thigh where it feels comfortable. And then for the second part, we're going to take the bind, so reaching that right arm up and over with the palm facing down. Catch the top side, the big toe side of the right foot. You can use the strap to make your arms longer. Wrap it around the right foot and then hold onto the strap, or just keep the right arm wrapped behind the back without holding onto anything. That's okay too. Inhale, folds forward, catch the outside of the left foot, or again, fingertips on the floor. And then exhale, fold. If you feel any pressure or pain in the knee joint, then maybe just back out of it a little bit. Sometimes folding forward deepens the lotus. So just notice if that's too deep for you today. Good. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come through to seated. Let's do the left side. Bend the left knee and let the knee fall out to the side. Square the shoulders over the right leg. Inhale, catch the right foot or fingertips on the floor. Exhale, fold. Keeping in mind all those forward folding principles on the right side as you release around the left hip. Keeping that right leg strong, the right foot is awake. Creating the stability for this posture. Good, one more breath here. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Good. Let's come into half lotus. So catching underneath, the palms facing up. Draw the lower leg towards you as the heel comes towards the navel. The outside edge of the hip comes towards the top of the right hip. Scoot that left hip forward so that both hips are in line. And then taking the bind, or just wrapping the left arm behind you. Inhale, catch the outside of the right foot or fingertips on the floor. Exhale, fold. And so noticing when we're folding forward, the front of the body tends to become less available to breathe into. And so thinking about breathing into the backside and how rounding the spine and spreading the back helps to create that space from the lower back all the way up to the upper back. So feeling into where can you breathe into the backside, experiencing that. One more breath here. Inhale, look up, fully exhale. And let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins, inhale, lift. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come through to seated. And let's just do Marichasana scene, just to get another twisting posture in before we play around with Garbha Pindasana. Bend the right knee. Bring the right knee to your chest, and let's twist over to the right. So you can hug the right knee with the right arm behind you. You can have the elbow to the outside of the knee, or you can go for the full bind if that's in your practice. Come into the breath. As you inhale, feel the tailbone slightly dropping to help you find length through the spine. And as you exhale, maybe moving a little deeper into the twist by reaching the heart up and back. So moving into spacious twist. Good. One more breath here. Exhale, release. Let's go straight into the left side. Come to the center for a moment, and then bend the left knee. And go into your version. Inhale, dropping the tailbone, lifting the heart. Exhale, twisting. One more. Good. Slowly coming out of that. Straightening the left leg. And let's take a vinyasa. Across the shins. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come through to seated. And let's just do one more posture actually to prepare for the full lotus, if you want to try full lotus for Garbha Pindasana. Baddha Konasana. Bring the feet together and Draw the heels as close as you can towards the body. And if this first position is uncomfortable, to find a straight spine, elevate the hips. Put a blanket or a pillow or something underneath the sit bones. Or maybe you need to prop the knees up if you feel a lot of tension on the inside of the thighs. Propping the knees up will allow you to release the inner thighs. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, reaching the heart forward. You can keep holding onto the feet with the elbows in towards the ribs for the more conventional version, or you can reach the arms out in front of you onto the fingertips. And as you inhale, you can lift the belly and move it forward if you find that space. And as you exhale, settle into this new space. Again, breathing into the backside by spreading the back. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Inhale, coming back up, and exhale there. And let's go from here, let's go into the full lotus. So let's straighten the legs. And we're gonna come into half lotus on the right side. So, and it helps to kind of drop the tailbone. So pointing the foot, grabbing from underneath, and pulling the leg towards you. Make sure that that right hip is relaxed as you draw the foot towards the top of the left thigh, like towards that hip crease. And then same thing, you just keep the right leg here, and you do the same thing with the left leg. And here you need to open the knee joint a little bit in order to get that foot on top of the right leg. So, but just make sure to open it as minimally as possible, only as much as you need to, in order for that left leg to be able to slide over the right leg, and then the outside edge of the foot is coming towards the left hip crease. And then once you have both feet there, then you can find a straight spine. Good. And then maybe you can experiment with drawing the knees in towards each other. So you have this like drawing in towards the center. Okay, so if you're not doing lotus, the option is to just cross the shins, hold on to the ankles, and draw everything in towards the center, finding that balance between the sit bones and the tailbone. If you're in the full lotus, then you also have options. You can either just bring the lotus towards you and hug the arms to really draw it in towards the center. So every option, we're going towards the same thing of like drawing in and getting really compact. So this is like that supinate form. If you want to try bringing the arms through, we're going to put the arms through that space on both sides between the calf and the thigh and above the ankle. So it's like a little kind of like triangle. And it helps for me to go like this, to like slice through by spiraling the arm when I slice through. So starting with the palm facing down, and then as I'm going through, spinning the palm to face up. So something about that spiraling motion helps. And you want to try to like kind of do it quickly, because if not you get stuck. So, and you want to try to get the elbow as much as it can to pass the leg so that you can bend the elbow. Yeah, so I was saying, I think it's easy when you either have clothes on clothes to slide through, or skin on skin if you're sweaty. But some people, they have more space there than others, so it works in a lot of different situations. So I have to keep my sleeves down, so this works for me. All right. This is like one of those postures that you're like, why are we doing this? It's fun though, when you can really feel that compact inward feeling. It's nice. All right, and then from here, you bring the hands towards your face, which isn't happening for me today, but moving in that direction, or bringing the hands towards, it's like underneath the chin. And we'll stay here for a couple more breaths. And so really feeling into that compact drawing in form. One more breath here. And now we're going to roll back and up. So you're either crossing the shins, hugging the shins in towards the body, or whatever version you're working with. And we're going to exhale, roll back, inhale, roll up. And while you do that, you can begin if you want to. While you do that, try to maintain that rounded, compact position. And so don't try to lift the chin away from the chest to help you come up. Try to keep the chin drawn in. That's the challenging part of this. Keep the chin drawn in as you come up. Use the breath. Exhale back, inhale up. Exhale back, inhale up. Good. We'll do 3. And you can go around in a circle as well. I don't really have the space. 2. Good. So if you're going around in a circle, starting to make your way back towards the front. And we're going to do one more posture here, Kukutasana. So we're going to bring the arms in front, bring the hands to the floor, fingertips pointing forward, shift forward, and lift up. Chin forward. If you're having a hard time coming up, think about chin forward. And if you have the shins crossed, or if you don't have the arms threaded through, then you come into Uplutihi. Either way, lift the hips, press through the shoulders, lift the knees. Good, for 3. Good. 2, round the upper back. And 1, exhale, release. Take the arms through. Good. This is a difficult posture. It's the 3rd gateway posture in Ashtanga Yoga. So it's kind of like the peak of the series. If you're still in lotus and you want to try doing the transition from lotus, stay with me. If not, just do regular vinyasa. So you can roll onto your knees, hands in front. So you need to build some momentum for that. Over the knees, hands to the front. And then you're going to bend the elbows and bring them towards the center, towards the center of your core, so that you have something to lean into, so that you can lift the lotus into the air, undo the legs, and shoot them back into a plank. So it looks like this. Lean into the elbows, lift the lotus, straighten the legs, and jump back to plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. Straighten the legs. Exhale, let's lie down on our back. Bend the knees, plant the feet. Let's do some back bends. So that the feet are aligned alongside the outside edges of the hips. Inhale, let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward, the knees forward. Inhale, press through the feet and lift the pelvis. So you can either catch the ankles or have the palms on the floor. Either way, drawing the knees in towards the center so they're not splaying out to the side, and feel the lower back spreading. The heart lifting, the front of the body lengthening. One more. Exhale, slowly roll down the spine. Inhale. We'll do 2 more. You can do bridge pose again, or you have the option to move with me into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Exhale, tailbone forward, knees forward. Inhale into bridge pose or hands next to the ears. Fingertips pointing towards the shoulders. And come all the way up. Maybe the elbows need to stay a little bit bent. That's okay. Draw the elbows in towards each other. Turn the toes in, the heels out. Good. And feel the back side spreading as the front side lengthens. One more breath. Exhale, coming to the top of the head or all the way down. We'll do 1 more. So maybe walking the hands in. And on your inhale, come up. You can even try walking the hands in from Urdhva Dhanurasana. Strong legs, strong arms. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Exhale, tuck the chin and come all the way down. Hug the knees into the chest. Take happy baby if that feels good. And rock up to seated. Let's just take 1 more counter pose for back bending. So, excuse You have two options. You can either keep the legs straight, or you can bring the feet together for like this diamond shape and let the knees fall out to the side. Both options, you fold forward. So they're both good options to help release the back after back bending. So maybe you can explore both and see how they feel, how they're different, how they're the same. Really coming into the breath as we wind down the practice. Lengthening the breath. Toning the vocal cords, but releasing the soft palate. Releasing the tension in the throat. Releasing the tension behind the eyes. One more here. Inhale, slowly coming out of that. And let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. Exhale, lie down on your back for shoulder stand. So you can bring the feet over the hips. You can stay here. Or you can put a block underneath the sacrum. Or you can go into the full shoulder stand with the hands to your lower back. Or for a deeper version, hands to the rib cage. For me, that's too deep. And the elbows drawing in towards each other. Really reaching the toes up. Slowing down the breath. Drawing the shoulders down the back and the chin away from the chest. Halasana, exhale, bring the feet over the head. Option to interlace the fingers. Karna Pindasana, bend the knees, round the spine. Good, and then release the hands, bring the hands to the floor, and slowly roll down the spine so that the hips land, and then slowly lower the legs. So the legs are straight out in front of you. Feel free to take the more conventional version here of Matsyasana by bringing the legs into a full lotus. Either way, you're lifting the heart, bringing the crown of the head towards the floor. If you're in full lotus, you're straightening the arms and bringing the hands to the top of the thighs. If the legs are straight, keep the elbows on the floor. Press the elbows down to really lift the heart. Open the throat. Feel the mind melting into the earth. Deep breaths here. One more here. And release that. Tuck the chin, lying flat on the back. Good. And you can take a Chakrasana here, backward roll, or hug the knees and rock up to seated. We'll take a vinyasa. From Chakrasana, you land in Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come to a seated position. And so, as we did lotus work, you can take full lotus here. Or you can just find a comfortable seat. And then if you want to try taking the full bind, reach the left arm behind you. I like to kind of come into a twist here. Catch the big toe side of the left foot, palm facing down, and then right arm comes up and over, kind of like the twist to the other side. This is posture. This has always been really hard for me. So sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, like today. All right, if not, just grab onto the elbows. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Sometimes it gets easier to get both toes when you fold. Come into the breath. One more. Inhale, come up. Release the hand and bring the wrist towards the knees and the pointer towards the thumb. Find a straight spine so you're sitting on top of the sit bones, drawing the chin in and back. Without collapsing the spine, keeping the entire spine straight all the way through the cervical, the spine and the neck. Gazing calmly, steadily at the tip of the nose or just at a point in the floor in front of you. Following the breath through its pathway. With the tone in the vocal cords, the soft palate released. Feel that nourishing quality of the breath when you allow it to just fully expand, fully contract, and move through you. Allowing space for the breath to unfold naturally, moment to moment. Just take a couple more rounds of breath here at your own pace. And when you finish your next exhale, fully exhale, gaze up, and we'll finish with Uputihi, hands in front of the hips. You can stay in lotus or just cross the shins and bring the knees to your chest. Hands in front of the hips. Pitch the shoulders forward, and when you inhale, lift the hips up and back. 1, 2, press through the shoulders. 3, 4, lift the gaze a little bit. 5, 6, stay up. 7, if you come down, just come right back up for the last 3 breaths. 8, 9, 10. Exhale, come down. So good. Take a final vinyasa at your own pace, and then we'll meet in Shavasana for a final resting pose. So if you want, you can try that lotus transition out here, if that was fun for you. And do what you got to do to get really comfortable in Shavasana. If you grab some blankets, turn the lights off. Take up as much space as you need to fully relax here. Letting go of all effort, of all technique, of judgment, of assessment, and just allowing the earth to support you and hold you holding the body and the mind, letting go of physical, mental, emotional tensions. And allowing the practice, the fruits of the practice, to integrate on a deep level. Feel free to stay here longer if you'd like. If you're ready to come out, start to deepen the breath. Wake up the body. You can reach the arms over your head. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the knees to the chest. And checking in with the more open side. Just noticing which nostril the breath is moving through. And whichever side the breath is moving through, fall over onto that side for a fetal position. And just stay here for a moment, allowing the breath to balance. And keep that bottom arm reached out overhead for a pillow. And slowly make your way back up to seated. And just take one final moment here together in a seated position. Closing the eyes if you'd like. Feeling into the residue from the practice. Coming back to intention. Let's finish with the closing mantra. You can join or just listen. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan Nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokha samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing your practice with me. I really appreciate it. It really does mean so much to me. So thank you.